Welcome to the Path to Mindset Mastery. My name is Brad Bizek. I'm a mindset strategist and coach, inspirational speaker, and creator of Appreciation Academy. And I help online business owners silence all the negative self-talk going on in your head that's holding you back so you can finally see the success that you deserve. And so today I'm curious, do you ever feel stuck in your business? Like you're trying all these things and you can't seem to break through. It just seems so much easier for other people and you don't know what's going wrong and it just doesn't seem fair. It seems like you're not destined for success and that you'll just always be stuck, right? Let me guess. Your mind is on your business all the time, but the results you have in your business are in the toilet. And when you're focused on your business, you're not even doing it creatively. You're focused on what's going wrong and how you don't have the ability to make it happen. Do you ever feel that way? Well, in this quick podcast episode, we're going to bring awareness to what's going wrong. Full disclosure, you won't be able to solve it all by listening to one episode. I'm going to give you an opportunity at the end to invest in me as your coach to learn how. But before that even matters, it's important to see what you actually struggle with and why you struggle with it to see if this is actually going on in your life. So today I'm going to walk you through the three biggest chokeholds on your business and what you can do to break through them. So what are these chokeholds that you face? Number one is a victim mentality. Number two is an employee mindset. And number three is attachment to just results. So if you suffer from one of those, you're going to have a really hard time growing your business. If you suffer from all of those, you're going to get into a state of learned helplessness where you start to believe that nothing you try will ever work. And it's called learned helplessness because it's something you've actually taught yourself. It's not true, but you believe it's true. So let's start with number one, a victim mentality. Victim mentality is a learned behavior. It's not genetic, it's not a biochemical predisposition, and it's just something that you teach yourself. What are some signs of a victim mentality? You think that you've been wronged in some way, almost like it's unfair to be where you are when everyone else is already successful. A victim believes that he or she has no control over his or her own life. They refuse to do anything about the setbacks that they face and believe that it's just the way that things are. A victim lives in negativity and believes in the worst on a regular basis, even if the world is trying to tell them otherwise. Here's a tough one that might be tough to hear. A victim expects sympathy. A victim expects attention. A victim desperately craves validation from people with more success and people that they don't even respect. Almost like if a victim hears, "I'm so sorry you're going through that," it feels really good to someone with a victim mentality. A victim lives in self-pity. It's a why me mindset, and it's a constant state of just being stressed out and putting yourself down. And another hard one, a victim will set themselves up for failure. Since they believe that their situation is harder than everyone else, they won't do the actions that could change their life because they already think they're going to fail. So my question is, do you act like a victim? Do you believe that it's just different for you and no one else understands your situation? Do you believe that, or do you feel like everything you try is like you're just not going to break through? When if you're being honest with yourself, you've tried one thing instead of tried everything. And you've just done that one thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. Because I'm going to be direct with you really, really quick. It's not different for you. It's not harder for you. Other people do understand. You have complete control over your mindset. I know it doesn't feel that way. And trust me, I live this. But until you can learn to correct that, you're going to be stuck and miserable. And on top of being miserable, it'll affect your marriage, it'll affect your parenting, your bank account, everything. I lived this for years. So how do you break through a victim mentality? I can't teach you that in a single podcast episode, but I do teach you that in very specific detail in my online course, Appreciation Academy. Here's all I'll say about the program. Do it. It is life-changing. You can't afford not to. And if you're listening to this podcast, you get a 50% off discount if you just enter the promo code PODCAST in all caps at checkout at appreciationacademy.com. But I just want to offer you that real quick because I can't teach you how to break through all of that in just one quick episode. So let's go into the second chokehold. What's a second chokehold? An employee mindset. And this is probably the most common in network marketers because network marketing is much less risk than a traditional business where you have your own overhead and things like that. People don't associate the same level of sincerity in building a network marketing business, and that's what hurts them the most because it is a real business, and it's such a great business because it doesn't have the same amount of risk. That's the challenge, because network marketers or network marketing is just as much of a business as a traditional business. But most people sign up for the dream and expect it to be easy. They expect to avoid failure, and they go into the same mindset that they went into with their previous job. So what's the difference between an employee mindset and an entrepreneur mindset? Well, the first thing is that you are responsible for everything. 100% responsible for where you are. It is on you to create something. No one is going to come and teach you and save you. No one. You have to figure it out. 99% of your business challenges can be solved on Google, by the way. 99% of your business challenges can be solved on Google. What you do is not hard. It is not rocket science. It's asking someone one question. Hey, do you want to join me? That's literally all you do, right? But we make it hard. You make it harder than it needs to be. Most people start a home-based business and expect their upline sponsor to teach them everything, just like a boss would at a regular job. And this is a bad mindset to have. Sure, an upline sponsor can coach someone along the way, absolutely. But it's a bad mindset to have because it takes responsibility away from you. You figure it out along the way, and the upline sponsor will work with you when you deserve their time, not when you need their time. If you aren't getting attention from your upline sponsor, it's because you need to earn their time. If you think you are entitled to it and you think that that person doesn't pay attention to me, I'm not destined for this, that is a clear sign that you're living in an employee mindset, because they do not have to give you that time. If you think you're entitled to it and you need it in order to have success, you're very wrong. You are responsible. The perks of their attention come after you work your ass off to figure things out and keep trying new things. Entrepreneurs improve their skills. Employees improve their weaknesses. That's another difference. Entrepreneurs improve their skills. Employees improve their weaknesses. So why is this? Employees are taught that weaknesses are bad. So employees work on things just to make sure they don't fail. But in entrepreneurship, can you be successful without failure? No. Entrepreneurs hone in on what they're best at, and they run with it as hard as they freaking can. Like for me, for example, video and speaking is my jam, right? I am not good at blogging. I am not good at those creating cool YouTube videos and all that stuff. I am great on camera and speaking, so I run with that, right? So what do you need to run with? Another difference, entrepreneurs try to fail. They love failure, they seek out failure, and they're willing to produce shitty work, right? They're willing, and what I mean by that is they don't put in shitty effort. I mean that they're willing to screw up their work, meaning they try something and it doesn't work. They know that one failure can lead to an aha moment that can change their life. That's an entrepreneur. Employees are always concerned about their boss, so they try to be perfect, and they won't start unless they can be perfect. It's a performance review-driven society. So if you avoid failure, you're still operating as an employee. Let me repeat that. If you try to avoid failure, you are operating as an employee, and you cannot build a business that way. Entrepreneurs make their own direction. Employees need direction. Entrepreneurship is the beautiful art of making something out of nothing. There are some great proven strategies to do that, right? Your business probably has that, but a lot of the times, wannabes will wait for someone to tell them what to do, right? And are you one of those people that waits for someone to tell them what to do? That is an employee mindset because it's you waiting on a boss. An entrepreneur just figures it out and tries and fails and tries and fails. They Google, they YouTube, they try. For example, my business now has 4 branches. I have a life mastery coaching subscription program. I have one-on-one coaching. I have public speaking and my online course Appreciation Academy and my other courses, right? And so my reason for bringing that up is because I had zero idea how to do any of it before I started. I Googled. I took courses. I invested in myself. I failed my ass off. Most of what I tried didn't work, and I figured it out. And if I waited for someone to tell me how, do you think that I would have success? No, not at all. So it's important that you try and fail and figure it out as you go. And the next one is a big one. Entrepreneurs love risk, and they teach themselves how to love risk even more. They bathe in risk. They live for risk. Why? Because without risk and putting yourself out there, there's no reward. If you do not put yourself out there as a business owner, there is no reward for you. Whenever you see a successful business, someone made a lot of really courageous choices to create that. Employees avoid risk at all costs. They won't put themselves out there because they're living in fear. Employees fear risk. They live in fear. They need to stay safe because they don't want to get fired, right? And by the way, this includes investing in your business. An employee mindset would see something like my Course Appreciation Academy and see it as an expense, like going to Target, right? That's how an employee would see that. An entrepreneur will know that in the core of what they're doing, and if they want success, they must invest in their growth before they can have the money to do it. The investment comes before the bank account. You have to see it that way. That's exactly what I did. Without investing in courses when I didn't have money and I couldn't afford it, there's no way that I would have learned how to have money. It doesn't make sense. So my business wouldn't be where it is if I didn't take that leap of faith. So you need to keep that in mind, whether it's through me or through someone you trust more. As an entrepreneur, you must invest in your growth before you have the money to do it. And last one, entrepreneurs look up to successful people. We love seeing other people succeed. It inspires us. It makes us see that it's possible for us too. Employees will see more successful people as a threat. Wannabe entrepreneurs see other people's success as their own failure. It's a horrible way to live because you need successful people's advice in order to succeed because they're the ones that are telling you how to do it, right? But if you see them as a threat and a direct sign of your own failure, you're never going to surround yourself with people that will help you explode your business so much faster than you ever could have on your own. So these successful people are a gift. So all in all, if you aren't self-motivated, if you get flustered under pressure, if you're risk averse and dependent on someone else for your success, you need a mindset shift if you want an entrepreneur business. If you want your own business, you need a mindset shift if you're going to be successful in entrepreneurship. Really what it comes down to is just taking 100% responsibility for your business and your life. That's entrepreneurship. If you do that, you're golden. But most people don't. Once you do that, it becomes so much easier to build a business. And again, if you struggle with that, Appreciation Academy. My goal here is not trying to sell you the program, it's to try to give you the complete solution to breaking through these mindset shifts. But shit, man, if you struggle with this, you need that course. It is so powerful. So I hope that gave you some insight into what type of mindset you have, employee or entrepreneur or employee. Which one are you? And the third and final chokehold on a business is attachment. What does that mean? It means that your happiness is dependent on a result. If you do that, man, you are in for a tough time in entrepreneurship because you really need to understand something. And at some level, this is one of the main things that I teach. Business success and money do not create happiness unless you're already happy. Happiness is what creates business success and money. Happiness needs to come first. And as a business owner, if your happiness is dependent on getting results, you are setting yourself up to epically fail in business. Why? Because most of what you try is never going to work. Write that down. Most of what I try won't work. And that's okay. If you ever want to create something that does work, you'll need a positive mindset because you're going to need to fail at a million things before you figure it out. So when you are so emotionally attached to a goal coming true, you push that away from you. Don't take that to mean you shouldn't be excited or passionate about goals. You should. What I mean is, if you're pushing for these big dreams and they seem to get further away from you, or almost like if you do have success but you still feel empty inside, it's because you are attached instead of committed. It's because you have a mindset of this must happen and then I can be fulfilled and feel successful. When you think that way, you always feel hollow and empty inside. And let me guess, it leads to self-sabotaging, compounding negative self-talk. And whatever you repeat to yourself consistently, you will believe. So you start to believe that you can't do it when it's bullshit. It's just repeated words in your own mind. When you try to build a business that way, isn't it so freaking stressful to try to figure it out? It feels defeating, insurmountable. So you start to accept it and get into this state of learned helplessness. Remember, your challenges are an objective question you're on a mission to solve. They are not responsible for your emotional well-being. Huge important note here. And you need to remember this. I just said a couple minutes ago. Remember, business, success, and money do not cause happiness. Happiness causes those things. Happiness and appreciation for the journey and the challenge is how you overcome the challenge. Most people don't get that. I didn't. It's why I stayed stuck. You don't need to find the answer because where you are right now is the answer. What I did is I said I should be at that rank. I should be at that goal. I should get more attention from my upline. And I said all those things. And I was shooting all over myself, right? And I remember I was pushing away the lesson that was the key to my freedom because I thought it was bad to be where I was right now. If you ever want to create your big dreams, you need to love where you are now and get excited about what you're going to create. That's Abundance 101, by the way. I love where I currently am in my life, my business, everything. And I'm excited about what I'm going to create next. Scarcity is I won't be happy until I get to that next step, and I'm afraid I never will. That's scarcity mindset, right? So seeing your current good is the fastest way to increase more good. What that means is when you can see the blessing in where you are right now, it becomes easier to build your business. So from doing this, you'll learn you don't need to work nearly as hard for exponentially better results. It's kind of like going hiking out west, right? If you put a dream on top of a mountain and you say, I'll only be happy when I get there, do you enjoy the hike? No. And it's just a waste of time. You just feel so stressed out the entire way. And it's like trying to climb a mountain with a blindfold on. And you're going to trip, you're going to fall, you're going to break an ankle, you're going to fall off a cliff and die. And even if you do happen to get to the top, you're going to feel miserable and hollow and empty inside because you won't see any of the beauty around you because it's like trying to climb a mountain with a blindfold on. But if you just become committed to the dream, super committed and pumped up about it, and committed to loving the climb, then all of a sudden you take the blindfold off, you can appreciate everything as you go. You appreciate the wildlife, the scenery, the mountains, the weather, the trail, all of it. If you've ever been hiking out west, even when that trail is going up and down and twisting and turning, leading you to that summit, do you ever doubt it is leading you to the top? No. Why would this be any different? Go on this journey for the experience of hiking, not just the summit. Get excited about the summit. Get pumped up about it. Strive for the summit. But your happiness as a human being is not dependent on that summit. Does that make sense? Because even when that trail is going downhill, you have a return order or your profit is lower than it was last year, whatever it is. If your goal is to enjoy the hike, then all of a sudden you learn something instead of hate something. And it becomes so much easier to build a business that way. It becomes simpler. It becomes more peaceful. And when you feel more at peace, don't you think of solutions much faster? Yeah, much faster. Don't you think of solves for your biggest challenges so much quicker? Yes, you do. So my challenge to you is to go after your business for the person you become, for the growth you experience, for the lives that you change. When you do that, life becomes so much easier. That feeling you have in your heart where you're pushing for things and forcing it and you don't know why, you just feel stuck all the time, it's going to go away and you're going to become just alive again. And when you feel alive, your energy becomes contagious, like you feel mine right now. And when your energy is contagious, people actually want to be part of your business. So living this way makes success easier. And I can't teach you how to do that all in one podcast. But if you struggle with it, I'm telling you, appreciationacademy.com. That is the purpose of that course. But either way, my friend, I hope you got some insight today into what might be going wrong in your business if you don't have the level of success that you want. Or if you do have the level of success that you want, but you're just not happy, this probably plays a big role into it too. So do you have a victim mentality? Do you have an employee mindset? Are you attached to the result where you'll only be happy when the next thing happens? If you suffer from any one of those learned behaviors, because you teach yourself that, learned behaviors, self-taught behaviors, you might have just identified your problem in business. I remember when I was doing so much intense personal growth, I heard this, what I've just taught you, and I was like, wait, I don't do any of that anymore. And I looked at my business and go figure, it was growing. I'm serious. Like today, I talked about what you need to do. I didn't teach you how to do it. I told you what you need to do. You need to choose a victor mentality, not a victim mentality, a victor mentality. Choose an entrepreneur mindset and become committed to your dreams instead of attached. I didn't teach you how to do that because that's what my program is for. So if this is you and you desperately want success, but you can't figure out why you're not there, if you're struggling too much month at the end of the money and you just wish it would change, if you keep staying in, you just keep feeling like you're staying in the same place, you need to know how to reverse this. Remember, entrepreneurs love risk. They invest in their growth, just like we talked about today. They find a way to learn new skills that they currently can't afford. That is what I did. That's what all of my success partners did that are successful in business. They invest in their growth. They find a way. I'm encouraging you to invest in Appreciation Academy at that 50% discount. Head there right now, appreciationacademy.com. Enter the promo code podcast, one word, all caps, to get 50% off. Get started in learning how to break through this. It'll be so worth your time. And I even have a 90-day guarantee in the program so you can complete it and see how much your life changes. Anyways, regardless of Appreciation Academy, I hope you had some pretty good aha moments today. And chances are they probably hurt a little bit, right? That's okay. I went through plenty of that when I was building my business, just this hurt of figuring out, okay, I see the problem, but it just hurts to feel it. But there is a solution. I have good news for you. You can change those mindsets. You can change your mindset from a victim to a victor, an employee to an entrepreneur, attached to committed. You really can, and I am living proof because I used to live in all three of those on a day-to-day basis. So I hope you truly enjoyed this episode of the Path to Mindset Mastery. My name is Brad Bizjack. Go out there today and every day and live your life with a genuine smile on your face because it's something that entrepreneurs do daily. I'll see you next week.